make sure to give me a signal, type in the chat box or whatever that you can hear me okay. I'm always worried. I wear my microphone, but I'm always worried that you might have trouble hearing me. So if you're catching this on the replay, it says I'm live. I'm getting an email that I'm live, so that's good. At least the YouTube algorithm is pulling me up into their system, and that's a good thing. But if you're watching this on the replay, this is the part of the show where I kind of wait for people to come in and say hello and all that kind of stuff. If you are here live, make sure to chat with me over in, I think the chat box is over here maybe, over there. And if you expanded this window so that it's bigger, it's going to be down below. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the thumbs up icon and of course the bell notification icon for me. And that really helps my channel out a lot. It lets YouTube know that you're interested in my videos and interested in my stuff, and let them know that you're interested. So, hi Angela, welcome. Can you hear me okay, Angela? I hope so. I'm not in my normal space, and it may sound a little echoey today. Hi Ines, how are you? It might sound a little echoey today, and I do apologize for that. I'm not in my normal recording space, as you can probably very much tell. Hi Ross, how are you? Thank you, Angela. I appreciate that so much. I'm wearing my microphone. Oh, I forgot to push it in. I forgot to push the cord in. So maybe it might be louder now. Hopefully you can hear me better now. I try so hard to do all the right things. Hi Bobby, how are you? I try to do everything correct, and I looked over at my cord, and it was hanging out. I'm using my iPad. Yeah, I'm sorry about the echoiness. I can't do anything about that. I don't know. Hi Diana. You haven't seen me or somebody else? Bobby says I haven't seen you in ages. I don't know if it's me or if it's somebody else. But anyways, not in my normal space, and we've got to talk. We've got to talk, everyone, because is the title kind of clickbait? Yeah, kind of a little bit. But it's been a minute since I've uploaded a crafting video. And so I figured today would be a good day to talk about, am I still doing card videos? Because you've seen my quilting videos, but am I still doing card videos? And what happens when you have creative block? That we'll talk about that. But oh, thank you, Russ. This is Olive and June pink sands. I never thought I would be a pink kind of guy, but I love this color. I love this color a lot, and so I painted my nails. And then Olive and June put out their new fall colors, which I love. I actually have them with me at my location that I'm currently at. I'm being very secretive about that, but don't worry about it. It's fine. But I actually brought them with me because I wanted to record some stuff on my Instagram. So, hey Spirit Junkie, good to see you. Oh, thank you so much. I love this color. I love this color a lot. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you liked the video yesterday. That was my very first real REEL video. I keep looking at myself over here. I need to look at the camera. That was my first reel that I've ever done on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, head over to my Instagram, off Kilter Crafter Ian, exactly the same way spelled here, and go ahead and what is it over there? Follow the follow button. That was my very first reel that I ever did. I'm going to clean the camera off, so forgive me. And it turned out pretty okay. It wasn't great, but for my first one, it wasn't bad. And I'm just thrilled that Olive and June sent me the fall colors. I'm so excited for that. So I think it's pretty awesome, to be honest. I love the fall colors. Head over to Olive and June website. I have a link in my Instagram bio that is my affiliate link or my ambassador link, which gives me a small commission at no cost to you. And then if you've never purchased anything from them, like a Petty or Manny system, you can use the code IAN20, IAN20. You can use that code and it will give you 20% off your very first purchase of any system, Petty or Manny. I like my Manny Petty. I like my Manny system because I do my fingernails more anyways. Angela says she follows me over on Instagram. You should too. So yeah, let's talk about, first of all, let's talk about, you probably haven't seen me posting a lot of videos on card crafting lately. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I just haven't felt it. I haven't felt doing a card video in a while. I've been focused a lot on quilts. Obviously, when you go to my page, you see mostly my tutorials on putting the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery quilts together, because I just haven't felt like crafting paper crafting, right? And I don't really know why. One of the reasons is ever since I got into this new space with my roommate, which I love my roommate, there's nothing, like, me and my roommate are getting along great, and I love living with my roommate. But it's a new environment, and I never thought an environment, I don't know why I thought this, but I never thought that an environment would change how I felt about crafting. So living in an apartment, I've never lived in an apartment before. This is the very first apartment I've ever lived in. And there are people all around you all the time. If you've ever lived in an apartment, you hear other people in their apartments, and you hear things. And that's not so much of a bother, but I don't want to be the person that you can hear in the other apartments. I am typically a night owl, and so I will end up staying up late. And when I was living at home, I could just go into the craft room and it doesn't bother anybody. But obviously, in my current situation, my roommate goes to bed early, and I don't want to disturb her by narrating a video as I'm putting a card together at 11 o'clock at night, midnight, anything like that. So my time frame for crafting is shorter. And she swears to me that she's not bothered by any of my narrating or anything like that, and I believe her. But I want to be respectful, right? I want to be respectful to her. I want to be respectful to my fellow people throughout the apartment building. Even I walk very heavily when I'm walking, and I live on the second floor, and so after 10 o'clock, I'm not exactly tiptoeing, but I'm very mindful of my steps to make sure that I'm not thumping to the person below me, because the person above us, at times it sounds like elephants live there. And I think we've all had situations where we live in a location, whether it be dorm or apartment or shared housing of some type, and we all have the experience of having the person above us who makes a lot of noise. And I don't know, I have a problem making noise, and I have a problem with, I want to be as quiet as I can and be respectful of the other people around me. Do they respect me and my roommate? No. That doesn't flash across people's minds. I know that I am the odd person out, and I think about these things when most people don't. So it's so bad that it's not bad, but at night when I'm going to bed at midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm even as so courteous, and I want to make sure that I'm being courteous, that I will very softly close any of the doors that need to get closed, like to the bathroom or to the living room, and I will stand there and literally hold the door and make sure that I'm not slamming it shut. So I don't know. That's been something, the noise factor has been something for me that I have become very aware of. And when you're living in a house, you don't have to worry about that, because for the most part, if you have other people living in the house, you have to worry about it. But if you're living by yourself or with a roommate or whatever, for the most part in a house, you don't have to worry about it. But in an apartment, I feel like I want to be very courteous to everybody else. Does that make sense? I saw a couple of comments pop up. This is important to talk about. Our energy changes, flows different paths. Follow your heart and chase your bliss. It's totally true, Spirit Junkie. That's the second thing is my mojo is just different now, right? My heart isn't as into paper crafting right now. It's super into quilting. I'm super into quilting. I love sewing, embroidery. I'm having a great time doing that. And that's why you're seeing a lot of those videos on my channel and not very many cards, because my heart isn't in cards. And when I sit down and do a cotton cuts puzzle mystery quilt piece, I feel really accomplished when I've finished that piece. Even though I'm only getting a small portion of that quilt done, I feel really accomplished. But when I am creating a card, even though I'm like literally finishing the card and creating, I just don't feel as accomplished. And especially for me right now, I feel, I don't want to say lazy, but I feel lazy because I don't want to spend a lot of time creating a card. Like I just kind of want to slap something together and be good with it. So like sitting there for hours on end, putting fine details onto a card and whatnot, I don't know why, but it's just not speaking to me right now. It might come around again where I am producing more cards and I'm creating cards and I'm just like, whoa, I'm so into it. Halloween is coming up and I love Halloween. I saw a Tim Holtz release this past weekend that is like two skulls. There's like a guy skull and a girl skull. I love that stamp set and I really want that stamp set because that really inspires me. But I'm also running into the problem where like I have a limited budget, right? And I'm currently trying to split that between quilting and card making. And I can't just go out and buy every new stamp set that comes out. I try to, Jennifer McGuire and Kathy Zilski and so many of those great creators out there are very awesome with their creations because they take those stamps or dies and use them in many other different ways, and that's really awesome. Unfortunately, a lot of times it's hard for me to think of ways to reuse those stamps and work with them in a different way, right? Ross says, plus sewing can be soothing from the noise to the machine to the sounds of the scissors cutting the string. You're right, Ross. It is, to me, it's super soothing to sit there and feed that material into the machine and, work with that material. It's very tactile, right? Stamping and card making, that's super tactile as well. I'm not saying it's not, but it's super tactile for me to sit there and I go into this like zone where I'm just sewing. I'm just sewing and I'm just creating and I'm just doing. I literally spent, I would say, 4 hours a couple of weeks ago just cutting fabric. I'm working on a project that's basically two t-shirt quilts. It's 2 t-shirt quilts that I'm making because I had way too many shirts to make just one, so I had to make 2, of course. And so I ended up spending hours. I put on an audiobook, I listened to the audiobook, and I'm just sitting there cutting up fabric with my rotary cutter. And there was something therapeutic about that. It was relaxing. I was listening to a really good audiobook, Winter's Orbit. If you're interested in LGBT sci-fi, Winter's Orbit is really good. But I put that book on and I was transported to that world and I could just zone in on that book and zone out on what I'm doing. So sewing is a great way to do it. Let me see what else. I'm the same way with cards. I just haven't had time. I have a hard time creating and just not feeling it. It totally happens. My go-to thing right now is chalk couture. Absolutely. Christy says she sewed for 6 hours yesterday and it felt so good after. It's therapeutic. The sound of the machine. You're right. I hadn't even thought about it like that. I watched too many card making videos and lost my own style. A break was good for me to remember what I enjoyed about the process. That's such good advice right there, because you are right. You lose your own style when you see so many things out there. And the design teams on any product release or company, like the design teams are there to inspire you. And I totally get it. It's great that they're doing it. They're putting inspiration out there, and somebody's going to see that card that they created or that thing that they created, and they're going to be like, "Oh my gosh, this gives me so many ideas." And it happens. That's a great thing. But by the same token, um, it can also, you can get lost in it, right? You can get so lost, and there's so many. For me, a lot of times when I see like the design team members examples, I feel inadequate. I feel inadequate in my design. I feel inadequate in my execution. I see these amazing designs, and then I'm like, oh, I'm not anywhere close to that. Like, it makes me feel inadequate on my own stuff. Like literally, like doing a colored background, stamping a stamp on it, and then putting an embellishment and being like, it's done. Like, and then you see amazing work. I started following a guy on Instagram who his Copic coloring skills are so incredible. I put on my story his creation using the Tim Holtz skull stamp. He turned it into this beautiful, beautiful rainbow skull. And it's amazing, but it makes me feel so inadequate because I can't do that. I can't make that happen, what he does. And it's okay that I don't, but you still feel it. You still feel it, and it's hard, right? It's hard to see that. I got to take a drink before I go, like, where you can't hear me anymore. Sorry, guys. So yeah, it's hard. It's really hard sometimes. The demands of our different crafts do ebb and flow. I got to watch Tim Holtz video. Lots of cool creators. I watched some of it, I'm watching some that are into using your stash. There we go. See if I can say that right. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard, and it's really hard to. It does ebb and flow. And right now I'm not feeling it. I even thought about getting rid of my paper crafting stuff. I was like, I'm not using it right now. Maybe I should just get rid of it. But I'm hoping it'll come back around. I'm hoping I'll get to a creative space, and not only a creative space, but also like a physical space. Part of my stuff is literally in my room, and the other half is sitting out in the living room. So it's hard because just a physical barrier of me like sitting at my craft table and being like, oh, I need this ink, but this ink is in the room over there. It would take me maybe 50 steps, probably like 25, to get from my crafting desk into my room, grab the ink that I need, and come back out. But not having something one step away has, I don't know why, like, this sounds really lazy, and I don't mean it that way, but like, it's really hard for me to like be like, okay, I need to go get that. I don't know. Do y'all feel that? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, to me, I'm sorry that the background's all like, I move in a certain spot and it changes the lighting. But anyways, I don't know. I just like that small step going from point A to point B. It's a barrier. I don't know. Let's see. Inez says, Ian, you're so inspiring. I made my first quilt because of you. Thank you. I remember that, Inez. She sent me beautiful pictures of her quilt. It's a huge quilt, and I love it. I love it so much. But yeah, I'm glad that I could inspire you to get into quilting and do that because I don't know, quilting's my jam right now. Quilting is my jam. I know what Angela says, I know what you're saying. I see some of these design team things and I feel like I love their work, but it also feels like I'll never be that good. Absolutely. I know I'll never be that good, but it's you know, it, their job isn't to their job is to inspire, and they do, but it also has that like it's like when I go to QuiltCon. I love going. I've only been once, and that one time at QuiltCon was amazing. I loved it. The quilts were just stunning. Everything about it was amazing. And then I got home and I was like, I feel really inadequate. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like my work would never get accepted into QuiltCon. I feel like my technique and my designs would never be up to snuff for a judge to judge it and put it into it. Like, I feel very overwhelmed at a QuiltCon. And technically I've been to two because the second one was virtual. But just looking at it, just looking at the quilts, I'm just like, I'm not that good. I could never create something that clean and that amazing. So you start like doubting yourself. You start doubting yourself and you start feeling down on yourself. And I could take every single class at QuiltCon and I just feel like I would never get to that level. Now, I will say, Christy and I were actually at a quilt show over the weekend. Let me take a sip really quick. We were at a quilt show over the weekend, and the deadline was earlier this summer to submit a quilt, and a lot of my Quilt Guild members asked me if I was submitting a quilt, and I said no. And I started walking around the show over the weekend, and I was like, dang it. I really should have entered. I really should have entered something. And one of my friends was like, yeah, you should have. You should have entered. And I said, but my work, I felt like my work wasn't good enough. And she says, it's not about your work being good enough. It's about getting your name out there. It's about showing the audience who's going to see the show what our guild can do. And at that show, I felt more confident that maybe I would not have won a ribbon, but I would have fit into the show, right? I felt like I would have been adequate for the show and I would have been able to show off my work. So it's, I'm kind of bummed that I didn't put my work in. And in fact, this friend, she said, next year, I'm going to tell you which ones to put in. I'm going to pay for the entry fee. I will pick them up and I will hold on to the judges' comments. So you never have to see what the judges say if you don't want to. And I'm like, okay, fair is fair. Next year, I'll put quilts in. So I've already said for next year that I'll put quilts in, or at least a quilt. But yeah, this was the first time I felt like I could actually enter a show. And maybe I wouldn't get a ribbon, maybe I would. I don't know. So it's hard. I'm kind of backtracking a little bit because I'm just now getting the chance to look at some of the comments y'all are saying, but totally, I only like having convenient crafting. It is true. Like, I am a lazy crafter. I've said this in so many of my YouTube videos. I'm a lazy crafter. I care, but like if it's not easy, I don't do it because somebody can sit there for 20 or 30 minutes blending out their colors for a background. And I'm like, slap some color on it and move on, right? And nothing against them. There's nothing wrong with taking that time to perfect that blend. But I'm like, no, let's move on. I try to keep my card making to about an hour. And if I can't make a card in an hour, I don't want to do it, to be honest. But anyways, that's just me. Um, I try not to compare myself to others. Angela says, I try not to compare myself to others because we are all different and in our own way. And it's true, Angela, you are right. We shouldn't compare ourselves to each other because we're not. We're not each other, and we are all individuals, and that's important to remember, is that we are all individuals and we need to not compare ourselves to each other. But it's still hard. You do it anyways. You know, there's that internal voice that even though you tell yourself you shouldn't compare yourself to another, it still happens. And so yeah, we do need to remind ourselves that we are individuals and it's us, right? So, Spirit Junkie says it was so good of your friend to give you some heartfelt truth. Absolutely. Christy says if I finish the President's Challenge quilt in time, I will enter it too. Excellent. You should. That's such a good quilt, Christy. I love it. I have that problem with people saying, oh, your crafts are good, you should sell them. Oh, yes, okay. So there's a really good comment from Ines. I have a problem with people saying, oh, your crafts are good, you should sell them. That immediately kills my motivation to do said crafts with stress. Abso-freaking-lutely. I'm also very ADHD and go off each craft quickly, so I have a lot of options. Tabitha's here. Hey, Tabitha. So yes, okay, so that's another thing that I get told all the time. I get told I should sell like the cards that I make. I should sell my cards that I make. I get told I should sell the quilts that I make. I get told I have reusable tote bags from Target. This is what happens to me most frequently, and this happened before the pandemic started when we were able to bring our own bags into Target. I had sorry, I'm like shifty. I don't know. I would bring my bags in, my reusable bags, canvas bags, put them on the conveyor belt. The person checking me out would, they were checking me out. No, they were checking my groceries and stuff out. And they would see the bags and they'd be like, oh, these are so cool bags. I haven't seen these before. And I'm like, well, I made them. And they're like, what? You make them? And I'm like, yeah, just, you know, a little something. And they're always like, oh, you should sell these. You should open up an Etsy store. You should make these. And I'm always like, nope, not doing it. And they're always like, why? You do such a great job. It's because it's fun for me. It's my hobby. It's what I want to do for my downtime. If I start making an Etsy store and start selling them on Etsy, it's a job. It turns into a job and I don't want to do a job. I want to just make for me. And it's funny because people don't understand that. Like they don't get that for some reason. And I've had several people, although I find it complimentary whenever they ask, I've had a few people ask if I will make them a quilt or if I would, you know, do whatever for them. And it's super complimentary and I do appreciate it, but I'm also like, you know, I tell them I don't take commission work because first of all, I'm too expensive. It takes a lot to put quilts together. The fabric, the time, the materials, everything. It takes a lot of resources to make quilts. And so, you know, I'm like, I'm too expensive. I charge $600 base. And that's for like a twin size. That's not even a queen or a king. I would charge $600 base to make a quilt. And people are always a little surprised when I say that because they're expecting me to turn around and do it for much less. And I'm like, no, my time and my materials are important to me. And you know, if I was doing a long arming business, then sure, yeah, I could understand that. But to start a quilt from scratch, like that takes a lot of time and a lot of resources. And so I'm like, no. I'm very complimentary. Like it's very complimentary to me that you would ask me to do it, but I'm not interested. Thank you very much. I'm always very polite. I never am rude. I just say, oh, you know, thank you very much. I don't take commission work, but you know, thank you for the awesome compliment. I appreciate it. So I may be coming across a little more bluntly or a little more rude than I intend. It's really not. I'm not trying to be rude. It just, I don't know. And it says, why don't people understand that it can ruin the enjoyment in a craft for people? It's true. It is so true. It can really, really turn that hobby into a job. And that's not what I'm looking for. I still have back order. I still have a back stock of stockings I made just sitting around for Etsy. Burnout is real. It is. The pressure of making and editing videos made me stop making videos. I have a hard time coming up with ideas, filming the footage, editing, etc. Tabitha, that's so true. Like the process of making a card isn't just sitting there making the card. You have to make sure that your lighting is right, your setup is right, your camera is right, your sound is right, hence the microphone. And then once you get that all set up, you record your video, and then you have to go through and edit all the video, and then you have to do the thumbnail for the video, which by the way, the thumbnail for this video is ridiculous. I know it's ridiculous. I wanted my face on there, and I was like, and I already had that picture in my camera roll, so I was like, we're just gonna run with it. It's actually me like pretending to sneeze, but you know, it kind of fit a little bit with the title of this video, so I was like, well, let's run with it anyways. But yeah, there's a lot that goes behind making videos, so it can be, the pressure is a lot. I crochet and have had people ask me to make them a blanket, and I would tell them how much I would have to charge them, and they can't afford it. Right. They don't, unfortunately, big box stores, Walmart, Target, I'm missing another big box store, Amazon, that's one. It's not technically a big box store, but all these websites and stores have spoiled the price of goods. And I see it all the time. There's an Instagram account that I follow that's can you sew this for me, I think is the name of it. Check it out there. And you see all the time people are like, oh hey, I need this done, I'll give you $50. And it's like, no, I don't accept. And there are times, some of these stories are crazy where literally people, bosses at jobs, will dump their clothing onto this person's desk. I've literally seen that story posted on their Instagram where a boss just dumped clothing onto this person's desk and said, oh, hey, I need these pants hems, thanks. It's like, yeah, cool. So here's my hourly rate for that. And they're like, oh no, you're just gonna do it for me. Blah. No, no, thank you. My quilt costs $500 just in supplies and paying for the long arming quilting. I made it so big by accident. And it's still amazing. Even though it was an accident for how big it is, it's still amazing and I love it. That's why Amish quilts are so expensive, absolutely. Spirit Jerky says we've all been there, Ness. It's true. They sell for $600 to $1,000, absolutely. With card making, I got to where I quit making cards for the fun of it because of everything I did would. Whoa, I can't read tonight apparently. Tabitha says with card making, it got to where I quit making cards for the fun of it because everything I did would make me say I could be recording this. Yeah, absolutely. I tried selling cards. People would gasp at the prices that I would charge the response for $20 for a card. And all I could say, yeah, exactly. Like people don't want to, hey, hello from Germany. Hello from Texas. Creating doesn't have a specific time frame. Maybe you write a sentence, draw a circle, paint a line. Creativity is a process, not a deadline. That's good wisdom. That needs to be on a motivational poster. It's the same over here. Even other crafters spoil the prices, and they sell their cards for €1. What? No. That is way too cheap. Because I know the price difference it's about €1 is about $2 ish. It's not exact, but that's how I think of it in my head. And €1 for a card? No way. Even I charge like $5 or $6 for a card. There's no way. There's one thing if I offer to do someone something for free. Exactly. Expecting me to do it for free is a whole nother story. Absolutely. Yes, way too cheap. They sell them on eBay. That's Crafting Queen. I don't know how a euro? No, it doesn't. Oh, by the way, look at my awesome shirt that I just got. I love this shirt. It may be backwards for you. I can't remember if YouTube flips things around or not. This video is not sponsored by Pepsi, by the way. Yeah, like, oh man, a euro for, anyways. So, but it could be, right? This video is not sponsored by this company, but it could be. I'm such a dork. Anyways, so yeah, I've just not had the mojo for creating cards. And I hope that turns around, and hopefully with Halloween around the corner. I always love jumping into Halloween videos, and I so would love to get that new Tim Holtz stamp set. I think it would be so awesome. Thank you. I love this shirt too. I'm so glad I got this one. But you know, I'm hoping I'll jump into the Halloween season and be more into it. I have Kathy Zilsky's Halloween stamp sets and die sets from last year, and I love them. And they're a lot of fun. And this is about the time that Halloween products and card making gets going, so I might jump into it. But again, it also depends on how I feel about crafting with everything going on around me. My actual space and being respectful to my roommate. It really is also, I want to be very respectful of other people around me. So I miss your videos, but take the time you need. It's important to do the things that bring you joy. Hope you don't stop YouTube, and I watch your videos so many years now. Would miss you and your videos and crafts. Okay, so I guess it's time for me to reveal if I'm going to be stopping creating YouTube videos. And the answer is no. I'm not going to be stopping. I've dragged you through 38 minutes now to finally answer the question. But no, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop making videos. I do this. I enjoy doing it because I like to be creative. I do enjoy that my videos help create revenue for me, like, right, by you subscribing to my channel, watching my videos, and, you know, clicking the thumbs up and all that kind of stuff. That helps me make money from YouTube, which is a great thing for me because I you know, income is nice to have, right? An extra, it's not a lot. I don't make a lot from YouTube. There are some YouTube creators out there that make lots and lots of money off of YouTube, like iJustine. I don't even want to think about how much she makes off of YouTube. And for me, it's a nice little, Spirit Junkie says it's a nice little side hustle. And every now and again, a check hits my bank from YouTube, and it's nice to have that little extra money in my account. It's not much. Again, like, it is not much. If you want to go into YouTube video creation for the money, it's not going to happen. And I mean, it might happen, but it takes years to get to that point. And the guarantee of the lightning bolt video hitting your channel is very small. It happens, and you never know why you're going to go viral, but you know, sometimes it happens. And I know that the chances of me going viral are very small, and I just make videos because I want to, and creating content for me, which makes me happy. You know, there was a period of time when it was creators would create content for their viewers, and they were, what do my viewers want to watch? What do my viewers want to watch? And I do still do that. I still want to know what y'all want to watch, what you want to see on my channel. I always want to hear what you want from my channel, because I do want to make sure that you are the ones who are watching my content. And so I want to make sure that I'm feeding the correct content onto my channel for y'all to watch. But by the same token, I also do videos for me, and because I want to do them, and because I want to do a project that I want to make, right? I'm not just going to go on my channel and make something completely different than what I would do, right? That's why I always say, like, when there's a specific product that I'm talking about in my video, because they want me, like a company has asked me to review their product, Olive and June. They didn't ask me to review their products, but I only put products on my social media that I use. Obviously, I use Olive and June, and obviously I'm in love with Olive and June. So that's a company that I stand behind and will use, because they're a great company and I believe in them and I use them. I don't ever put up products or tools or anything that I wouldn't personally use myself. So, is crafting something you have in common with your roommate? Unfortunately not, Spirit Junkie. She doesn't really craft. I'm the creative one, at least in the art, at least in this regards, I'm the creative one. She has amazing skills for a lot of other things, and she's very talented in a lot of other things. But in terms of like card making and stuff like that, I'm the one that's, that kind of, she looks at my artwork and is like, man, she's told me, like, she's not envious, but like, she sees me creating things and she wants to be like that, but she's just not sure. She doesn't feel confident, and that's not her creative style, and that's not her creative place. So yeah, Tabitha, check is always nice. Yep, I'm not leaving. I'm still going to yeah. I will say it was a little bit of a clickbait. J-Meal, yeah. It was a little clickbaity, but you know, I really wanted to come in here and talk about this because I didn't want y'all to think that I was not going to be creating videos ever again. And you probably have noticed over the weeks, I'm only creating the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt videos. I haven't been creating card videos. It's much more work than people realize, absolutely. Thank you, Shannon. She says, I enjoy your videos. I like your cards and quilts. The creators that are making a living of it have to work really hard to get to that point. Absolutely. You should do them for you, which absolutely, that's exactly what I do. You need to make a deal with Martelli. I know, I need to do a deal with Martelli. But yeah, so I'm not going to stop making videos. I will try to get back into making card videos. Honestly, lately, when I need to make a card, I'll usually just throw something on the Cricut and cut one of their pre-made cards. I'll just throw some paper onto the Cricut and just let it do its thing. I haven't even really wanted to create a card. But I will get back there. I will get back there. I will get into a groove of things where I feel like I want to create, and and hopefully another thing that's been another thing, this just hit the top of my head. Make things that make you excited, and those are the best videos. I agree. And I think when I get excited about something, y'all get excited about it, right? Like y'all enjoy watching that because it's fun. I watch. I just thought I broke something. That was funny. I'm so sorry. Wow. I thought I was just about to fall out of this chair. This is why you should always stick to the end of a video. I've only used my Cricut Maker once in the past year. I feel like I can relate to this struggle. Another thing, I don't even make cards and I still love watching all the videos. Thank you so much, Ines. I really do appreciate that. Another thing that would be fun to have you and Jeff Lindbergh, Simon Hurley, Daniel West do. Oh, I know. I would love that. That would be a lot of fun, I feel like. I really wish we could get all four of us into a room together. Like, wouldn't that be fun if we had like 4 different workstations all set up and maybe we all had like a challenge that we would have to do, or we would just do crafting hour, like we would just stream our crafting hour together. Oh man, that would be a lot of fun. Tabitha says she wishes she had YouTube clips like Twitch does. I'm glad. I think YouTube does have clips, by the way, but I don't know how it works. I don't know how that all works. That is not something I know. That was funny. But so another thing that has been causing me to not want to create as much, Dudes Craft 2 challenge. Oh, I love that. That would be so cool. I wrote a really cool blog post. I feel like it's a really cool blog post for Cotton Cuts. So head over to the Cotton Cuts blog post that I wrote called #DudesCraft2. I'm very proud of that one. Hey, Michael, I didn't even see you come in. You do you, Ian. You have a good group that supports you. Sometimes you just need a minute. I have had a drop in creativity, and it took a bottle of wine and some anagriffith to get back into it. It happened. Like, it's strange what like gets you back into your groove sometimes. But anyways, another thing that's been going on is work has been really stressful. And I know a lot of people's work has been very stressful over the past pandemic. My job changed a lot, just like a lot of others. My job changed a lot. And when my job changed, it became something that it's hard for me to talk about this. I don't really like talking about my work on my social media. It's just not what I wanted to do, right? And I mean, a lot of people have gone through this struggle as well. Like, what you did over a year and a half ago is not what you're doing now. And a lot of times I'm making digital content for my job. And so, you know, I get off work and I've already spent the day. There was one day I spent my entire day at work editing a video. And so I got off work and I was like, I don't want to edit a video. I don't want to sit here at the computer for another hour or 2 hours editing a video. So thankfully, a part of that is going to stop coming soon. So I won't be creating as much digital content for my job as I have been. So that will be helpful. And I think that will also help, like, when I get to the weekend now, most of the time I would make my videos on weekends. And so, you know, when I get to the weekend, I don't have to, somebody wants to send me a message on Instagram. Is it one of y'all? But when I get to the weekend, I don't want to sit there and edit a video, right? I do it for cotton cuts because I have to keep up with those videos, and I love, honestly, they're easy. They're easy videos for me to put together. It doesn't take very long. It takes a while, but it takes about 2 hours, 1 hour to actually put the clue together, and then another hour to make the video. But I don't want to sit there and do what I've been doing all week when it's my weekend. And so a lot of weekends, part of it also was the Olympics were on, and I love the Olympics. And for the 2 or 3 weekends that the Olympics was around, on the weekend, I was sitting on the couch watching the Olympics. And I don't get into sporting events. The Olympics is the only thing I get into. And my roommate, never has she seen me get into sports. And then I'm sitting there watching the volleyball competition, both beach volleyball and arena indoor volleyball. I'm sitting there like, oh, get it. Oh, okay. All right, get it. Ooh, like, I get so into it. It's really quite funny. You could probably put like a video on me, and that would probably be pretty hysterical. Volleyball is the best. I love it. It's so good. I wish if my school had had a male volleyball league, I would have joined. Because that's the only sport I have any interest in doing. And I got smacked in the face by a volleyball in a high school gym. Just flat out, like, straight looking at the person serving, which was my first mistake. Straight up staring straight at her. She serves the ball, bam, smacks me right in the face. And I wore glasses in high school, and I broke the glasses and just annihilated them. Christy says, never would have thought of you as a volleyball person. I don't know. I mean, it might be a little stereotypical, because I feel like a lot of gay males like to play volleyball. I don't know. That's just me. I used to play our city's parks and rec league until about 10 years ago. The only part I watched was the team. Wait, what? The only part I watched was to watch the team who was fined. Oh, which team was that? I don't remember that. Even played 8 months pregnant. Oh my gosh, Tabitha. 8 months pregnant and playing volleyball? It probably looked like you had a volleyball under there. But yeah, I would definitely play volleyball. If I could turn back time, and my school didn't have a male volleyball league, so I had a great team that protected me. It was fun. One of the women's teams was fined for, Ines, yes, I know exactly, yes. Fined for not wearing this. Oh, this topic right here could be its own video for another almost hour of content, because I am so letting the men wear the shorts and then the women have to wear the no, we won't even get into this. I played baseball till I was almost 30 and was pregnant with my youngest son. Goodness gracious. Like, more power to y'all. Abso-freaking-lutely. I think it's amazing, but I can't imagine being pregnant and playing such active sports. I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I will not have to experience that, and I'm thankful to the people who do it, Like, I am very sympathetic isn't the word. I respect them highly. I did softball for 1 year, and that was enough for me. Soccer too. I had to show my son he could. I had to show it to my son so he could reassure me that I have done right, and he could pick out the wrong. Oh yeah. so wrong on so many levels. And we would be here for another hour if I got in on that topic. So wrong. Ugh. So freaking wrong. Makes me mad. Yeah, there's a lot of thoughts. A lot of thoughts on that one. A lot of thoughts. Oh, but during the Olympics, did y'all see when it was the high jump event where I think it was the gentleman from Qatar? Was it the gentleman from Qatar and the gentleman from Italy? Like they were neck and neck, and the officials came over and they were like, they've been friends for a long time apparently, but they were like, can we just share gold? And the official was like, I mean, yeah, but like y'all could do a jump off. And they're like, let's just share gold. That's what the Olympics are about. Like that right there, that very moment is exactly what the Olympics is about. And I was like, yes, all of that. I want all of that. I'm getting super excited. It was so much fun for me to watch that happen because it was awesome. It was awesome. They were both genuinely excited about winning gold together. It was a super special moment. And like, it was just so good. And it just, you felt the warm and fuzzies inside your chest when it happened. And it was wonderful. I love that. And there were a couple other moments like that throughout the Olympics. Simone Biles saying like, whoop, nope, can't do this, nope. And then staying there and cheering her team on while she's in the bleachers, while she's on the sidelines. Amazing. Freaking amazing. And having the forethought and realization that she's not going to be able to do it, and stopping and being like, no, instead of going forward and putting everything in jeopardy, literally her career in jeopardy, taking away somebody else's spot to do something like, so good. So good. Knowing she needed to stop. Absolutely. Knowing and having the forethought to be like, no, stop. We need more of that. We need more of that. We need more of that. And we need to bring mental health to the forefront. And stop being, and I think a lot of people during the pandemic have realized that. And so, there's a lot of places that can't hire people, and they're saying it's because, people are lazy or people, this. No, it's not. It's not that. It's not that people are lazy. It's people wanting their lives back. During the pandemic, we realized so many things. I think so many people got such clarity of vision and mental health that we don't ever want to go back to that, right? And so I don't know. I think this pandemic, even though it's been a horrible thing, there have been some really good outcomes that have come from it. There's been a lot of silver linings. I know for me personally, there's been some really great silver linings. And I'm happy for that very much. I praise her for knowing she just was not in the right frame of mind. The twisties, like I had never heard of that before. And that's such an interesting, we must have something that is equivalent to that, just to the everyday person. Like her realizing she doesn't know where her body is in spatial orientation. Like, I applaud her. Again, I applaud her. She's done an amazing job. J-Mail says you need to start a podcast. I feel like I could really do that and do it very well. I appreciate that. I feel like I I don't know if I could do a podcast. It's that's another topic. That's another topic for another day. It's interesting to me, like a lot of video content creators are also podcasters. iJustine does a podcast. Yeah, it's one of those things that it would be another thing to do for me. So I appreciate the compliment, absolutely. I don't know if podcasting is for me. Blogging is like way outside my comfort zone, right? Like, it's called spatial awareness. It's a real problem for a lot of people. It's crazy to me. And I guess I have it too. I run into things a lot. My appendages. I'm tall. I have really long appendages, and I run into stuff a lot. And maybe that's part of what it is. But yeah, I was saying something else, and then I got sidetracked. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, so lots has been going on. I don't know exactly where this journey is going to take me. There's also a lot of things up in the air right now too. I haven't talked about that, and I'm not really going to talk about that too much until things happen. It's a sensory problem. Where are all the bruises? I don't think I have any bruises at the moment, but my bruises would probably agree with you. There are some things that I'm hoping. That's not even the right way to say that. There are things that are happening. No matter where it takes you, just take us along. I promise you guys, I will take you along for whatever the journey may be. There's a couple of things that are in the air. I'm working very hard to make some things happen in my life, and I'm working with a therapist. I'm not afraid to say that. I'm working with a therapist, and I am wanting to make some things better in my life. And I'm not really happy right now in my life. There are a lot of things that make me happy and whatnot, but I'm trying to get to a place where we may never be fully happy, but I'm trying to get to a place where I am happy and satisfied, and there will always be things to reach for and to get. But yeah, I'm trying to get to a place where I'm a lot happier, and I want to make some changes to make that happen. But of course, that takes time. It takes time to make those changes happen, and a lot of things don't happen just overnight. Thank you guys for your support, by the way. A lot of things don't just happen overnight. You have to work through them, and you have to put in the work, right? So, I'm working on things. The relationship with my family is not great. That's something else that I'm working with my therapist on. It's a day-by-day process, right? And so I'm working on it. I'm working on stuff. I'm hoping to make things better, but it just takes time. And I'm trying to find things that make me happy and will make me happy, and get me into the place that I want to be. First step is to take the first step, and you've done that, so stay strong. Absolutely. Taking the first step is like hard. Taking the first step is so hard. So hard. But, it happens. And you have to do it. And then you just keep taking another step. And then another step. And then another step. And it just keeps going. So, but don't think that I'm not, like, I'm unhappy all the time, because that's not true. I'm not unhappy all the time. I have a great support network that it's been hard during the pandemic not being able to see them as much. Um, and in fact, my support network, we had a COVID scare recently. Um, and it's not easy that we're not able to see each other a lot. There was a great period of time. It was when vaccinations had started rolling out and were rapidly getting out there, and before the Delta variant happened. Like that period of time, things were starting to feel so good again. Um, and, you know, and then we had the Delta variant. And I'm very thankful that I have been vaccinated. Whoa, wow, English. I have had my vaccinations. I have been vaccinated. There we go, English. I'm very thankful that I was able to get vaccinated, and I'm very thankful that I was pretty early on in the process. Out of all of my friends, I was the first one to get the vaccine. And I'm very thankful for that. It's because of my job that I was able to get vaccinated so early. So I'm super thankful for that. And actually, probably when they do the booster shots, I will probably be pretty high up on the list again, because next month will be about the time frame for a booster. We will find a new normal. Absolutely, we will. And things will get better. Absolutely. You know, it's probably going to be 2022, 2023. Christy's getting her booster this week. Woo woo! Awesome. I'm excited for you. So yeah, we will get back to a new normal. Things will never be the same again, ever. It will probably, you know, these pandemics come around about every 100 years, it seems like. So more than likely we will have to face this again, and not me. I will not be around in 100 years. But you know, it happens, and so humanity will have to face another pandemic, probably in 100 years, unless something else. I mean, we have pandemics pop up, and thankfully a lot of times they get knocked back down again, either by science or they fizzle out themselves. But and this goes into this at this point, it sounds like a TED talk. But no, you know, we will get back to a new normal, and that new normal will start to wear off again as we get deeper away from the COVID pandemic, and we might end up right back where we were before the pandemic. I kind of hope not, to be honest, because there are some things that I never want to do again. Someone kick all the peeps who wished a second. Yeah, no kidding. I had the Johnson & Johnson, so I don't think I'll be able to get a booster. Tabitha, there will probably be a booster at some point, but they are not. They're not ready for a booster. First of all, J&J came out later than the Moderna and the Pfizer. So it will. Oh, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Oh, you so did not have to do that. Thank you. Thank you, Crafting Queen, so much for that super chat. I really appreciate that. Yeah, so what does the future have? I have no idea. I just want to be able to travel again, to be honest. I miss traveling so much. I used to go on one like big trip each year, and the last one I went on was to QuiltCon in Austin in 2020. That was right before everything shut down. Right before. And that's something that's really made me sad, is in 2020, I was going to Austin. I was going to be going to Houston soon after. That didn't happen because that's when COVID blew up in Houston. And then that summer, I was going to go to Los Angeles for work. And I had approval. I was already starting to look at, like, work was telling me to start looking at plane and hotel and all that. And then I didn't get to go. Thank you, COVID. But anyways, I want to travel again. They have until February to get travel back on track. Yeah. I have signed up for QuiltCon, which is in February. I've booked my hotel. I can cancel up to the day before for free, so it's no big deal. I have registered for QuiltCon, depending on when I cancel. If I cancel, when I cancel, I don't know how much of a refund I would get back, depending on when I cancel. I'm hesitant to buy plane tickets because I just don't know what the future's going to hold. So hopefully they'll get everything. Hopefully everything will straighten out by February. I miss getting to see my oldest get married. They opted for a courthouse wedding for now. Someday I'll be able to see the new family. I mean, it's smart to do a courthouse for now. And one of my coworkers was supposed to go on a cruise in 2020 for her wedding. And obviously that didn't happen. Yeah. COVID. We could go on and on about COVID. Anyways, all right. Whoa. Didn't mean to speak for 71 minutes and 49 seconds, but all right, to summarize, I'm still going to do YouTube. You're probably going to still see a lot of cut and cut videos because I have a partnership with them, and I love doing their puzzle mystery quilts. It's so much fun. I will still make card videos. I just ask for your patience as I try to figure out my creative block. And until I can get that kind of worked out, it is the way it is. Glad to see you, and you do you, friend. So maybe I'll do more live videos, because this was actually a lot of fun just sitting here talking to the camera. I feel like the last couple of times I've done live videos, I haven't had anybody show up. I maybe had like 1 or 2 people show up. So in the comments below, if you're watching this on the replay, tell me, do you want to do chatting videos like this? Or like, because I feel like the several past times I've gone live, I've not had an audience. Thanks for the updates and viral chat. Be well, you boo. Love these videos, chatting live videos. Okay, so maybe I just need to schedule them. Maybe that was my problem, is I wasn't scheduling them. And so people didn't, it would just pop up randomly. Maybe that's my problem. Oh, yeah, totally get it, Spirit. Lisa says, hello, I like the live video. Okay, cool. All right, so apparently I just need to schedule it, is what it sounds like needs to happen, instead of, yep, you retracted your message. I didn't read it all the way. It was there and then bam, it was gone. That was a little surprising too. But no, I just need to schedule. That's what needs to happen. I just need to schedule them. All right. Be on the lookout for me to schedule videos where we can just boop like the button friends. Yeah. Oh, it's all good. No worries. That sounds good. It's all good. Don't worry. See, that's why I need a podcast. Body Double Crafts lives. Oh my gosh. Yeah, definitely. All right, I'm going to jump off of here because I need to go take a shower. I get to dress up like a pirate tomorrow for my job. So the things I never thought I would do for my job. Dressing up like a dinosaur. Who knew that? Michael, thank you. That's so kind. Keep doing you and what you love. I'm always here if you need an ear. That rhymes. Here's a drink on me when you need it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Due to the time difference, I can only watch when I don't have to work. I totally get it. Crafting Queen, I totally get that. Michael, thank you so much. Everybody, round of applause for Michael. That's so sweet of you. I am going to go get a margarita with that. So thank you for giving me a margarita on you. I appreciate it. All right. I'm going to jump off of here. I have to wake up early. I have to put on guy liner tomorrow. Look at my Instagram tomorrow because I'm almost guarantee you I will post something about it. I appreciate that, Tabitha. So I need to go take a shower. I need to get ready for bed and then wake up tomorrow and put on a pirate costume because that's my job. All right, everyone. I hope everybody has a great night. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to try very hard to schedule stuff like this in the future with plenty of advance notice so you can see when it's happening. I hope everybody has a great night. And remember, guys, normal. I haven't said this in a very long time. I realized this the other day that I have not been ending my videos this way. So I'm going to end this one this way. Remember, guys, normal's just a setting on your dryer. I'll see everybody next time. Bye.